Tony, welcome to Gun.
Hey, Joe, how are you?
I gotta pat you down though, pal.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
All right.
Got anything on you? Anything I should know?
I got nothing.
Anything weird going on? What? All right, you go in, Tony. Good.
Thanks, Joe. Appreciate it. Thanks.
Hi, I'm Tom Kelly of The Tom Kelly Show. Yes, this is not the only time I've gotten on my knees in the back room of a comedy club.
The Knockem Dead Comedy Radio Show is also brought to you by Two Eagles Auto Body. For more than 25 years, Two Eagles Auto Body has been the leader in auto body repairs and customer satisfaction on Long Island. Two Eagles Auto Body handles every type of auto repair, from custom applications and restorations to repairs involving insurance claims. Give Two Eagles Auto Body a call and please ask for John Rossi at 516-328-2527. That's 516-328-2527.
Hey, how do you say there, people? It's Johnny Brennan, creator of the Jerky Boys, also of Fox TV's Family Guy fame. I just want to let you know you're listening to Tony on the Knockem Dead radio show. They're gonna keep knocking them dead, so keep listening, you wacky sons of bitch. Right there. Over and out there, sweet Charlie.
Long time no see, man. Hey, man, I miss you guys, man, at Knockem Dead Comedy Radio.
Hey, Tony, you're not funny, and you probably shit yourself a lot, and you're no fun to be with, and you don't make that much money, and you're not going anywhere in show business, and I hope you get hit by a bus.
Let's give a big shout out to Tony Walker.
Tony Walker, who's a friend of mine.
Tony Walker!
Tony Walker!
Tony Walker, everybody. Stand up, Tony. Where are you? Tony Walker! Thank you so much, mate.
Ladies and gentlemen, Tony Walker. Our favorite. We love you.
Let's give a big shout out to Tony Walker.
Tony Walker, who's a friend of mine.
Tony Walker!
Tony Walker!
Tony Walker, everybody. Stand up, Tony. Where are you?
Good morning, everybody.
Hi, everybody. It is Thursday. Welcome to the Knockem Comedy Show here on Gov's Comedy Club Podcast. Thanks for joining us. We got a great show for you today. Gov's Comedy Club Podcast, that is where we're streaming from. Please join us on YouTube. Comment throughout the show. We're reading some of your comments. Please share the link. Tell everybody you know about all the great shows here at Gov's Comedy Club Podcast. And we're streaming live from the legendary Governor's Comedy Club. And speaking of legends, ladies and gentlemen, I have with me today, first, of course, Frank is here. But we also have with us Irish singer, legendary singer, legendary Long Islander, but definitely a legend in the Irish music genre. We have Andy COONEY here with us, ladies and gentlemen.
Wow.
Andy COONEY is
with the
here.
applause. This is an old building.
Actually, well, I have. Yeah, I got that. Can you hear that?
Oh,
there you go.
Oh, okay. Actually, I got to put my.
You don't have to put them on if you don't want to.
I want to hear Frank.
Oh, that's true. You'll have to hear Frank if you want to.
Oh,
yes.
well, hello, Frank. How are you, my good buddy?
How are you?
It's good to be with you guys. And yeah, I know you've asked me a few times, and finally we did it.
Nice, very nice. John Rusiello is watching. Good morning, John. Hope you're well. John is down in Florida, and he is definitely going to be very impressed with the music he hears as we get some music going in a little bit. Andy COONEY, Irish singer, Long Island man, Massapequa's own.
Massapequa.
Born and raised and still there, right?
Yeah, born and raised in Massapequa. And, it was a great place to grow up. So I stayed there, and I raised my 2 children there. So,
very nice.
So that's that.
Did you do the right thing by them and take them to All-American as much as you could?
Of course.
Absolutely.
In fact, I worked in All-American.
Who did?
I did.
You did? You worked in All-American?
I worked in All-American. That's where I learned how to sing. Yeah.
And you're not like, you learned to sing.
No.
It's all that French fry grease.
It was actually peeling potatoes, for the French fries, and I started humming along as I was freaking
nice.
That's it for All American.
See, now we love you even more. Now that we know that information, I think I'd be the size of this room if I worked there. I'd be just eating all day.
You have to say the French fries are the best. They really are.
The fries, the burgers, all of it.
Everything. It was a great place to work. Bill and Phil, 2 brothers that owned it, and they owned the Carvel across the way, and it was a great place.
Well, and
it's still a great place.
Yes, it's unbelievably good. And then the ice cream, which is not a Carvel anymore, it's Marshall's. It's been Marshall's for a while. Even that, to me, there's nothing better. You go All American, you get those burgers and those fries, and then then you walk over to
what was
Marshall's.
your favorite? What was your favorite burger there? Mine was the double.
I'll tell you know what
with extra ketchup and extra cheese.
Oh, okay.
That's how I used to order it. Yeah.
Wow. Yeah. Well, I get plain. So I'm kind of a weird guy. I don't like condiments. I personally believe, especially with burgers and steaks, if you make it just right, you don't need to put anything on it.
That's true.
Yeah, that's how I see it. So I go to All American, and I get a plain, so just meat and bun, no cheese, no ketchup, nothing. But I get a half pounder.
Mm. Oh yeah, there you go. Well, the All American's quite famous because before Donald Trump became president, he went to All American,
right?
Because he's a big McDonald's guy,
right?
So,
well, right. He went when he went to the
Officer Diller's
the funeral, the wake, which was down the road,
yeah,
right. Yeah, and then he bought all the Secret Service, a bunch of All-American.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
So.
I have to admit, I think I'd elect the guy just for that reason. I just love that place. And then you go across the parking lot to Marshall's. The burgers at All-American and that ice cream at Marshall's, they have an equal effect on me.
That's kind of where I grew up. I grew up in Biltmore Shores.
Oh, I lived there for a few years.
I grew up on Ocean Avenue.
Oh, okay, yeah.
And so All-American was just, literally,
right
up the road, it was.
Oh, then
part of my growing up and everything.
And you got 7-Eleven right there, and
Yes.
Finn's Deli right down the road.
Oh yeah,
it's wonderful. So, Biltmore Shore. So, we're not promoting Andy's tour. We're just going to talk about Massapequa today.
Hey,
do you know? And you have some great comedians on your tour, but over there in Biltmore Shores, Tom Kelly. Would you happen to know?
Tom Kelly.
He's a comedian.
Okay,
I know Frank knows him as well.
Wow, we'll have to check him out.
Yeah, but I'll tell you right now, he's not as funny as Mick Thomas.
I hope Tom's not watching.
Tom is probably watching, and I will get yelled at. But I said that on purpose just to mess with him. The grilled cheese and fries are the best Where? At All American? You don't go to All American for grilled cheese, John. Do they have grilled cheese?
Yeah, they have grilled cheese.
They do. I don't
They
think
do.
I even know
They
that.
have grilled cheese. Yeah.
I don't. Yeah. Wow. All right. Well, the fries are definitely the best.
And also, hot dogs and everything.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I remember.
The whole works.
It's all coming back to me now.
Oh yeah, man. And you can sit Memorial Day. You can sit in the parking lot and see the Blue Angels and all. They kind of make their turn to go back to Jones Beach around there.
I didn't know that.
Oh yeah,
Wow.
That's the white trash version of going to see the air show at Jones Beach. You just sit in the All American parking lot. But a lot of talented people down there in Massapequa.
Oh yeah, Massapequa's Jerry Seinfeld.
Yeah.
We have the Stray Cats,
Right.
Brian Setzer,
The Baldwin Brothers.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
And I don't know if he grew up there, but I know Marvin Hamlish lived down there for a time.
Yeah, that's
W.C. Fields owned a house in Biltmore
and
Shores.
also, what's his name is from there too? I can't think.
Joey Buttafuoco.
Oh, of course, Joey Buttafuoco.
That's where I lived, right across the street from
I'm
this
thinking of the
house.
guy. What was that movie? Cocoon.
Oh, Steve Guttenberg.
Steve Guttenberg.
Yep.
That's it. He's a Massapequa guy too.
Yes, he is.
So.
I went into.
And you know who else lived in Massapequa for a brief time?
No.
Dick Van Dyke.
Oh, now you're speaking Frank's language.
Oh yeah.
Look at his face lighten up.
If you read his book, he talks about as
really
as he lived in Massapequa.
Huh. Frank, did you know that?
No, I didn't know that.
Yeah, I never.
And
heard that.
do you know his real name?
Dick Harley Dyke. I have no idea.
No, penis von lesbian. Yeah. I thought you guys would have got that one. I mean, come on.
How have I never heard that?
Well, that's what happened. He was actually got his first theater gig, and he went in to get the gig, and the guy says, "What's your name?" He says, "Penis von lesbian." He says, "I can't put that in the playbill." He says, "You got to change your name." He goes, "That's my name." So he goes, "I'm sorry, you don't have the job." He came back an hour later. He says, "Look, I changed my mind. I really need this gig. I changed my name." My name. He goes, "What is it?" He goes, "Dick Van Dyke." He says, "There you go." Don't be stealing my material here, okay? I'm going to be coming here now when you're on, Tony.
Yeah, I hate to say it, but I think a lot of the audiences here in the club might not even know who that is. So.
The penis von lesbian?
Yeah, well, that they know. Yes. I'm sorry, John, for doubting you. I did not know they had grilled cheese. Sorry. He's getting all upset with me. So the big tour has started, or it has
the tour is starting. We're opening in the Villages.
Oh,
the Villages in Florida.
Very nice.
And the Village is a very famous place. It's the largest retirement community in the world.
Oh, wow.
There's over 200,000 people that live in this community. Wow. And they're all over 55. But you've heard the venereal disease is what's been going around. A lot of unprotected sex going on in these senior communities. So
good for them.
Yeah. So they say everybody's in bed by 9 o'clock, but they're not sleeping.
Well, that's yeah. If we're gonna, say if you have to be in bed by 9, there's a good reason. So,
but
so showtime is what, like 4 o'clock?
Yeah, right. Oh, believe it or not, if you do 2 shows, they usually do a 4 and a 7. We're doing one show, a 7 o'clock show. It is our first day of the tour, so everybody will be flying in that day.
Okay.
And we have 2 talented comedians that are going to be with us for the whole tour.
Yep.
And it opens in the Villages. Mick Thomas, who you guys all know very well here.
Very well.
And Sean Finnerty, another Irish comedian. I guess his fame or whatever, he was on Jimmy Fallon.
Oh,
so
right,
that's his
yes.
claim to fame. So we'll have the 2 guys. They've always wanted to work together. They've done stuff together, and they were going to try to put a comedy duo tour together.
Okay.
So I said to them, well, why don't you come on my tour, and we'll do like 15 shows together, a different show every night. I'm sure you guys can really put together a great show.
Absolutely.
So, yeah. So we've worked together before on a festival up in East Durham, New York. So I'm really looking forward to this. It's going to be great. I work with comedians a lot.
Oh, okay. That was exactly what I was about to ask. So you do a lot with that.
I do. I work in the Irish music world, so
Right.
a lot of the comedians that I work with, they're kind of the old style, tell gags.
Right. Which
is
still awesome.
Murphy, Casey, and Flanagan.
Right.
Murphy was in the military. He couldn't hit the target. Target practice. They kept on moving in the target. He turns to his sergeant. He says, "I guess I won't be going then." He goes, "Oh no, you're going." He says, "I don't think you'll be coming back." All that type of bump. stuff. So a lot of those old style comedians. When I started working with Mick, just our crowd just fell in love with this guy. You know, because Mick is amazing. He can adjust. He can, and he's
very smart comedian.
Oh, a very smart guy, and you know he just knows what to do.
Yes.
You know, like with our crowd. You know, when you're dealing with an older crowd or a family audience, you know. You know you can't be throwing the F-bomb around,
right,
you know?
Right.
But he just knows how to do it.
Yep.
And you know what it is? If you're funny, you don't need all that stuff.
That's right.
I understand that, you know, it embellishes and it might drive it home a little. But at the end of the day, if you're funny,
right,
you're funny.
Right.
You know?
And that is a testament to a good comedian. They're still effective without going there. That does. It says a lot about the comedian.
It's a great old story about an Irish comedian named Hal Roach.
Oh, sure.
Remember that? He's kind of legendary.
Little Rascals.
Yeah. Well, actually, different Hal Roach.
Oh.
Irish comedian. He's passed on now. But he was very well known in our scene.
Okay.
But he was on a plane, and Bob Hope was on the plane with him.
Oh, wow.
And all the show that was traveling, I know a lot of the guys that were with that show, the Patty Noonan show.
Okay.
And,
I know Patty Noonan.
This is like 40 years ago.
Right.
So they were waiting for their luggage.
Yeah.
And, you know, and Hal says to Bob Hope, while he's waiting for his luggage, you know, coming around, he goes, yes, Bob. He goes, I'm a comedian, by the way. You know what Bob Hope looked at him and said? He said, are you funny? I mean, what do you say?
Right.
Are you funny?
I'd like to think so.
Yeah, so.
Somebody's paying me. That's great.
What a line. I mean, you
yeah,
want to disable somebody.
Right.
Boom.
Done. Bob Hope just smiled and walked away. So all right. So that's how you met Mick. You met him from doing festivals and stuff.
Yeah. I met Mick because I was stuck for a comedian, and I've been actually how I met him. His agent at the time called me and said, "Hey, I see you do a bunch of different gigs and different shows in nice rooms, and I've got a guy." Her name, I can't think of her name right now at the moment. It's left me. But anyway, we started talking. She told me his name. I went on YouTube and I said, this guy. He's young,
right?
He's Irish, and listening to it was a spot that he did. It was something in the city.
Okay,
one of those spots that he did on YouTube.
Probably Gotham or something.
Yeah, Gotham. It's exactly what it was. And I listened to that set, and I said, "This is perfect. This guy's gonna be able to work our crowd." So I hired him, and I've been hiring Mick ever since.
That's great.
You know?
But this is the first full-length tour that you're doing with him?
First full-length tour he's doing with us. Last year he did a week with us in March on the road. But now he's going to be out with us for the solid 2 weeks.
Wow.
Yeah. So
he's a very interesting guy. He is so into American history, more than probably any American I've ever met. He absolutely loves it, soaks it all in. He'll tell you, he'll give you tidbits that I've never even heard about.
The funny bits he comes up with.
Well,
he has a thing about the George Washington Bridge that he does.
Yeah, right. Okay.
Yeah, about the traffic. He says, if I can go back in time, he says, if I saw George Washington, I'd give him a good kick, where. So that's for your bridge, So
He's great.
Yeah, so he's one of those guys that's always coming up with stuff.
Yeah,
he's always coming up with stuff. He's finding something funny in just about everything that we do.
Yep.
And, and then he puts his little Irish twist on it.
Right.
And people love it.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, so I wanted to ask, because I know you've been all over the world.
Yeah, I have. Right. I've been very blessed.
How does Ireland receive you? Because I don't know.
I'm born here. It's like bringing, and if you play Irish music, it's like bringing ice to an Eskimo.
Right. Yeah, exactly.
Loads of Irish music here. What do we need this guy for?
Right. Yeah.
So when I go to Ireland and perform,
I
work in the country music world. I play American country music. Okay. So when I work there, but they have what's called the country and Irish scene. Like we have country and western.
Right.
So if you check out any of my videos on YouTube, one of my big records was On the Eighth Day, a song that I had written with two other writers.
Right.
And you'll hear the country music inflection, but then we pop accordion and fiddle in.
Right. Okay.
And it gives it that Irish thing, and that's what's really popular in Ireland, the country and Irish music scene.
Okay.
So that's the scene that I work.
Oh, wow.
So I'm totally accepted over there. In fact, one of the biggest stars over there, he's a guy from the Mississippi. He met this Irish girl in Mississippi. He had no work, so he moved to Ireland with the girlfriend.
Wow.
He started up a Cajun band. He's like one of the biggest stars in Ireland.
No
His name is
kidding.
Robert Mizell. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, so I mean, it's a very healthy scene over there, and it's really an amazing scene for a country of 5 million people.
Yeah.
And it's about the size of New Jersey.
Right. Yeah.
But these guys are making a ton of money in the scene.
No kidding.
Yeah, I mean, it's a great scene, and I get to go over there every year for about 2 weeks, and I do some shows, you know.
That's
and I'll
amazing.
work with a lot of those artists over there, which opened another door to a podcast that I've been doing for the past few years. Started during COVID. I play all the new country and Irish music that's coming out in Ireland. I play it in the States. I introduce all the new music.
Yeah.
Great artists, Nathan Carter, Mike Denver. These names you could check out on YouTube. But they got all great music, original music.
Okay.
And, yeah, I've created an avenue for them in the States and making these people know about their music.
Sure.
So it's led to a lot of different things. So I've just kind of reinvented myself wherever I go. You know?
Gotta, yeah, whatever it takes, right, to
Yeah.
survive. That's so you're not up there in Ireland singing Danny Boy.
No,
or,
it's the last thing they want to hear.
really?
The last thing they want to hear me singing Danny Boy.
That's amazing to me. That so you go there to sing Irish country, and then you're singing their songs
Well,
here.
you know what happened? I mean, I've been playing Irish music for all these years. I've done loads of recordings. Was recording for a company based on Long Island here called Rego Records.
Okay.
And they were the largest distributor of Irish music in this country. They're no longer, ever since, music has gone digital and streaming.
Yeah.
So they're no longer there. But I was with that label for probably 20 years. Did lots of recordings.
Well,
for
you
them.
have over 20 albums. I have.
Yeah,
over 20 albums.
over 20 albums.
Crazy.
So what happened was when I decided to come up with the country and Irish album in Ireland, because I was a writer back in Nashville back in the early 90s.
Okay.
So Ireland likes the traditional country music sound, Merle Haggard, George Jones type country music.
Sure.
And they have that kind of music, like I said, with a little bit of an Irish twist thrown in there. So I went back to all the stuff I was writing in Nashville back in the early 90s, which was pretty traditional.
Okay.
I revisited all the stuff and I put an album out. And I got an email from a guy who actually has the same last name as me, but he's a big DJ. His name is Joe COONEY.
Oh, wow.
And when the album came out, he came to me. Thanks. Finally something I can effing play by you. Because he doesn't play Irish music. He plays country music. Right. Now, he's known about me for years, but finally I played something that he could play on his radio program.
Right.
So I knew that I tapped into the right thing. And
that's funny.
So for the last 10 years, it's really 10 years now, 2016, that album came out.
Yeah.
And some of the videos came out. And it's been a great little ride going over there. And now the Irish people know who I am, you know?
That is something. So now I do want to eventually get to the beginning and find out how a guy from Massapequa ends up playing Irish music. But we're kind of on a roll. So you started the Irish Cruise? Is that what it was called?
It's called the Cruise of Irish Stars.
Forgive me. Yeah, Cruise of Irish Stars.
I started this cruise 27 years ago.
Wow.
And 1998, we had our first Cruise of Irish Stars. But I had been doing cruising and whatever. And when I was with the Patty Noonan show, touring with that show, he had done cruising and all that stuff. So I was pretty familiar with it. But I said, you know what? I can take this to a different level. Because we were bringing 100 people or, I said, I can see us bringing 500, 600, 700 people. So I connected with some entertainers that I knew our crowd would like and actually were familiar with, and we got together. We put a music package together, and before I knew it, we had 500 people, then 600, then 800.
Amazing.
We had as many as 1,400. We're about 1,000 people every year we bring, and
wow.
The Irish tenor Ronan Tynan,
right?
He's been with me for like the past 15 years.
Wow,
almost 20 years. Ronan's with me.
Yeah.
So so between me and Ronan
yeah.
and all the different bands that we bring, It's quite a week. I like to describe it as, instead of one long week, it's like one long night. Because let me tell you something.
You might not remember the whole thing, but
oh
it'll
yeah,
be great,
yeah. It is. It's just like that. It's amazing. We'll have after the music ends at 2:00 in the morning, then the fiddles and the accordions come out and the acoustic guitars come out.
Right.
And then that could go to 5 in the morning.
Sweet, that's
great.
yeah,
that stuff will start kicking in, and before you know it, you have 15 Irish musicians.
Wow.
Just playing
That's
all the jigs and reels, and
that's a great time.
So it really is a great time, and so we just came off the cruise.
Oh, did you? Yeah.
Yeah, we just came off it. It was February 9th to the whatever 7 days is.
I think he's still drunk from that.
Yeah, I think so. Oh, believe me. Let me tell you something. There was a lot of drink going on that cruise.
Well, it's Irish. That goes without saying.
You need a vacation from that vacation. It's insane. It's insane. But we get a great variety of people. We get a lot of retired people, a lot of old people. You wouldn't believe it. These old people, 80 years old, up at 5 o'clock in the morning.
That's great.
Because they know they can sleep in till 2.
Right.
And they don't miss anything.
Well, they're not going back to work after that week, so they got plenty of, they can get their rest afterwards.
Yeah, and I'll meet some of these old ones when they first come on, and they're like, the theater show is at 10:15. I'm in bed by then. I said, well, look, you got this whole cruise to sleep. Stay up.
Right.
Stay up for the whole thing. You can sleep till 2 in the afternoon and they do.
Right. And
they get through the first few days, and these people are like, oh my God, I can't believe I stayed up till 4 in the morning.
Is it mostly people from Ireland or Irish people from all over?
Mostly Irish Americans. We do get some people from Ireland, and most of the time we get people from Ireland. It might be a family member that lives in New York.
Okay.
And brothers and sisters will come over and spend the week with them.
Yeah. Okay.
But in Ireland, it's we don't get a lot of people from Ireland because there is so many of these weeks in Spain, Irish music weeks, and in Spain and Portugal. They can jump on a flight for $50 on Ryanair, and they can be down there. And for $1,000, they can spend a week and enjoy all the music. For us to get on a cruise, and fly all the way to the States, and it can be quite an expense for them to So mostly Irish Americans.
What's the forgive me, I'm not familiar at all. What's the Irish scene like here on the island? Is there a big Irish music scene?
Not anything what it was like in the 80s and the 90s.
Oh, no kidding.
Yeah, it's definitely. I have to say that a lot of it was the demise of Rego Records when they kind of went away in the early 2000s. Because they were the ones that were feeding the market.
Okay.
When I came out with a new album, all of the radio stations that were playing Irish music, like Hofstra, Fordham, which are still going.
Sure.
But there were hundreds of stations all over the United States. So they were feeding the market. My music, Frank Patterson, Tony Kenny, a lot of these people that would have been well known in our scene. Okay. There was an avenue for us. But after they kind of went under and there was no place to service these radio stations anymore, these shows just started dropping off. And that's what I attribute it to, that the market wasn't being fed. So I have a loyal following from back then that will come to see me, thank God.
Yeah, sure.
And I stay in touch with them. And that's the whole thing, through my email, through Facebook and everything. As we were talking before, you just have to keep working that social media.
We were saying it before we went on the air. It's a lot of work, but that's become the life. Performing, but kind of like almost like a business end of it, where you have to do all this kind of self promotion all over social media and email blasts. Now, musicians have always, and the same with comedy, we've always made the bulk of our money from being on the road. But talking about Rego Records and making albums. In this digital age, again, you made most of the money from being on the road. Records, or putting out albums, you never made a ton of money because the record company, but digital.
Live performances.
Right.
God, back in the 80s and 90s, even to the 2000s, and still a little bit today, but nothing. We used to sell $2,000 worth of stuff a night.
Right. Oh, yeah.
Oh, it's just amazing. I mean, I think we were making probably more money on CD sales and
Well, right,
cassette
but
sales and,
all right, that's kind of where I'm going. So you would sell them directly, you'd sell them at your shows.
Sure.
So record company, but
and then of course we had Sam Goody, we had all, and the Regal Records had
Right.
that type of distribution. So we were everywhere. Our music was everywhere.
all right, right, and it's kind of everywhere now because it's streaming. But,
Yeah.
but the amount of money you make is a lot less
On physical product, it was the
Right.
money. You know, that's a revenue stream that does not exist anymore.
Right.
You know,
That's exactly my point.
We still
Right.
sell CDs on the road.
Mm-hmm.
People will buy it. And, you know, I'll make a joke on stage. Usually, I say, "We do have our CDs with us here tonight, ladies and gentlemen. And if you have a car that's 5 years or older."
Right.
You can play the CD in your car. I'm like,
Yep.
isn't that the coolest thing? Who come up with that? You know, and there are still some of our gang that have CD players in their car.
Yep.
But one thing I did come out with that is moving.
Okay.
I came out with a USB stick,
Oh, sure.
and I have 70 tracks. I have all my albums, just about.
Oh,
A lot of my
wow.
albums on this, and for the same price of a CD, they have everything. I just plug it in where you plug your phone in, and
Yep.
that's it.
That's a great
You'll be
idea.
a COONEY by the end of it. You know?
Yeah, right. Oh, is that what your fans are called? The Coonatics?
Oh my man, I've got this cold I can't shake.
Oh, I hear you. I've had it
it's the
too for
worst.
almost 6 weeks. It's crazy. So they're all tailgating in the parking lot. Oh, the Coonatics over here.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah. Oh God, you can see us coming from a mile away.
I'm
with
not
the
gonna-
walkers, you know.
Yeah, right. I'm a Coonatic, can't you tell? But I guess you do have to stay on the road and get inventive, like making the USB stick to kind of make that money from the recording. Do you even bother recording albums anymore?
No, I mean basically what we do now, and especially for Ireland, where Ireland is really playing anything new by me now because we don't have the network that we had, 20 years ago.
Yeah.
It's just, it doesn't exist anymore.
Right.
You do have Fordham University, you do have Hofstra, but there's no new Irish American music coming out like there was years and years ago.
Sure.
And even, Irish artists that were based here would be recording and putting out their music here, and it's just feeding the market.
Mm-hmm.
But Ireland, of course, is like I said, the country and Irish scene is huge.
Yeah.
And so I come out with a single probably every 3 months.
Okay.
But you just release the singles, and what happens is once I release 12 singles, then I'll just slap them on a CD and I'll sell them here. But I'm not even sure whether I'll do that anymore.
Yeah, which that's sad to me.
Yeah, so it's just, hey, you got to go with the flow. You know what it is? People don't want to own anything anymore. They want access. They just want access.
And they want it
Yeah,
immediate access.
And so if you're not on Spotify paying for a subscription, most of the time you can go on YouTube and you can find what you're looking for
Right.
and have it and not pay anything for it.
Yeah, I'm a big.
But I do get money for it. It's not like I don't get anything. It's pittance to what we used to get.
Exactly. Right.
But I have a digital distributor, and that all of the digital platforms, Apple
Right.
Music, everything you can think of.
Yeah.
So at the end of the year, it all trickles in and adds up, and there usually is a nice amount of money there.
Do you feel any pressure or any need to tour more to make the money, say, that you used to make from CDs, or it's
it is what it is.
Yeah, you're just.
It really is
okay.
what it is, and any artists out there like myself that's been around for a while and working theaters and doing that.
Right.
It's tougher and tougher. Now, if you're a big star, Billy Joel's going to do Yankee Stadium, Citi Field, and MetLife.
MetLife, right.
He's doing all three.
Yep.
And he's going to sell out. He's Billy Joel. But a lot of guys like us that didn't have major record deals and just kind of have a grassroots following, it's not easy putting bums in seats these days. So it's, so the money hasn't changed a lot.
Right. Okay.
Over the last 20 years. It's not like,
I guess which in a weird way is a good thing, kind of.
Yeah, I mean, in other words, the fees, we haven't been making any more money.
Right.
So we've lost the CD sales, but it's a changed business, It's just, you got to go with the flow if you want to be a survivor.
Yeah, right.
You
That's
you really
sums
do.
it up right there. We're done.
Yeah. Oh, that's
just,
it. All right,
that
good luck.
summed it up. Yeah. I hadn't-
Good luck, folks.
But then, as much as I love Billy Joel, it drives me nuts because he's Citi Field. The cheapest ticket is $300.
Oh, is it? I didn't even look.
Oh yeah, a buddy of mine, Frank and I, and we're big Billy Joel fans, and who isn't on Long Island, right?
Who isn't?
So a buddy of mine who his name is Jeff. He does the show with me on Mondays. He looked, and then up in the 500 sections, up in the nosebleeds, $300.
$300.
I mean that.
I went to the night at Shea. What was it? The last
play at Shea.
I went to that. Luckily, at that time that was at Shea.
Right.
So I had so many connections at Shea Stadium.
Yeah, I bet.
So many. So it was great. So I did get in.
Nice.
I didn't. It was good. I did get in through some people I knew there at the stadium.
And he didn't call you up on stage?
I know. You believe that?
Come on.
Actually, my brother, Paul, who recently passed away, God rest him.
Yeah, my apologies.
No,
yeah.
not at all. But his girlfriend at the time was best friends with his wife.
Oh wow!
So he would frequently go to their house out east.
No kidding.
So anyway, my brother said to Billy, he says, "Hey, did you ever hear my brother Andy COONEY? He's a big musician on Long Island." You know what he said?
He didn't say no, did he?
He said one word. No. Just like that. Like, don't ask me anything else. What do you mean never heard of my brother? Like, no.
Right.
Let's move on. Next. Yeah. But he does a lot of work still on Long Island, even though he's moved out of here.
Yeah.
At Tiki Recording in Glen Cove. There's a guy, Fred Garino, up there that I've been working with for like 35, 40 years.
wow.
In fact, I do all my, even if I record something in Ireland, I will master it and do my vocals here on Long Island.
Okay.
So he did a lot of Billy's Sirius Radio stuff where when it's the Billy Joel station that day, and Billy comes on and talks about songs.
Right.
So he still periodically comes up and does stuff up at Tiki.
Oh, that's cool.
So which is really, really cool. He's got a nice C7, Billy's favorite piano, Yamaha.
Right. Yeah.
So so he still periodically comes up and works there.
Oh wow!
Yeah.
I had the pleasure of also up in Glen Cove, Billy's old sax player Richie Canada.
Oh, really?
Cove. What's it? Cove.
Oh, Cove. Yeah, it's right next to Tiki.
Oh, it's right next to it?
They actually share the same parking lot.
Oh, no kidding.
Yeah, Cove City.
Cove City. That's it.
Now
right.
you wouldn't know that Tiki was there because Tiki is they have Glen Floors right there in the back parking lot, and to the right is Cove City. You go up the stairs of Glen Floors to the third floor. It's no elevator. Let me tell you.
Right,
something.
I remember that. But just
you'd want to So you get up those 3 flights, but he's got a fabulous facility there, and Fred for many years.
That's great. It's nice to hear that. People are again with CDs kind of on the out. It's nice to hear that people are still surviving other ways.
Absolutely. He's a very busy guy, but a guy that's been in the business for a long time. He used to be actually on, I think, Glen Cove Road, in a beautiful home, all recording studio, and Alicia Keys ended up buying it from him.
Oh, wow.
To use for her own personal studio.
Wow,
so then he downsized and he went into this situation. But he works with Cove City quite a lot when they have, if they're going to bring in maybe 15-piece orchestra.
Sure.
Do some, where they need a room.
Yeah.
They'll work over there.
I don't get, like, if I don't know, like if someone said Billy Joel used that microphone, like I'm not like I don't get terribly impressed because I'm like, all right, he's not here now, it doesn't matter. But when I went to Abbey Road, the first time I was like, whoa. But with Richie Canada, he was giving me a tour of the studio, and there was this big grand piano, and he said Ray Charles recorded in here and used that piano. That did. I was like, wow. Like it impressed me.
That would do me. Impress me as well.
Yeah.
I remember years and years ago when I started out in the business. I started out as a piano player.
Oh, okay.
In Kennedy's on 2nd Avenue.
Mm-hmm.
But once in a while, I'd get a little stint at the Waldorf Astoria.
Sure.
There was a guy that was playing there, and he couldn't make it a couple of times, so I sat in there and played. If I'm not mistaken, I think this was like Beethoven's or Mozart's piano.
Oh, wow.
In what they call the Peacock Alley in the Waldorf. Just go in and just play show tunes or whatever.
Yeah.
But it was like that piano.
Sure.
So I'm sitting there going,
I'm not worthy. I don't want to break anything. All right, let's throw a tune on. Is there anything particular you would want me to play, or?
Well, you know what? I think one of my favorites there, I think you have it, it's called The Rose of Ballin Robe. It's one of my own songs. It's right there.
Oh, right, this one, right?
Yeah, and I think it's a very Irishy tune. I did very well in Ireland, had a #1 with it, and one of my own. And there are some famous people making cameos in it. Sean Keane, who's very well known in Irish music. There, he's to my left there. He'll be playing the whistles. Kathy Durkin will be playing accordion. So in other words, when the video came out, and I wasn't really known there, this is my first album.
Yeah.
People will be watching the video and say, "Oh, there's Sean Keane.
Oh, nice.
What's he doing in this video?"
Right.
That means I must mean something.
Right.
You know,
So,
and Kathy Durkin was an accordion, and a lot of the band members are all very well-known musicians in it. So it's just it's a nice Irishy thing. I think your people will like it.
And and I watched this video, and it forgive me, I'm blocking Frank 'cause I'm trying to set this up. But I watched this video, and it looks like you guys are having a great time, almost like you're up to no good in this video. Like you guys are laughing
in
throughout.
Rose of Ballin Robe or on the 8th day.
No, I believe it's this one.
Yeah, probably
I
that
think
one.
it is this one.
It is that one. Actually, it's a very cool scene at the two things at the end that you get to watch for. Okay. #1, which was very cool, the producer, Mick Bracken, he's walking around this area where we're shooting, and he sees a bunch of sheep. And then he sees the old-fashioned shearing scissors.
Oh, okay.
So he's like, "Oh my God, I've got a great idea for a shot." So he took the girl who was playing the Rose of Ballin Robe, of course.
All right.
Redhead, she's just gorgeous. And she's shearing the sheep in one of the shots.
Oh,
it's
wow.
the coolest shot of all. And then also at the end of the video, if you catch this at the end, my wife goes, "Rewind that." I said, "What?" She says, "A bird just flew out of your ass." I said, "What?" She goes, "I'm not kidding." So if you're watching, I'm singing the last line of the song, "Rose of Ballin Robe, and I'm walking along this path, and then this bird flies out of my..." Okay.
Well,
just watch it and tell me if you catch it, all right?
I guess that's better than it flying in. Okay.
Now, I don't smile or smirk. You know, like...
It's actually a backward shot. Yeah.
It actually, if you watch the last line of the... I say Ballin Robe, and then I'm walking, and you see that bird come right out.
Oops. All right. Well, I guess we have to deal with the. I warned Andy before we started that. Yeah, we're dealing with live, and I'm playing this straight from YouTube. So we have to. Whoops, we have to deal with.
There you go.
I'm gonna start it in a second. We have to deal with ads.
Oh, like ads that come up, sure.
Yeah, because it's live, folks. Let me just fix. I don't want to screw this up. Let me fix that. 2 seconds, and then I'm going to start this
I know what you're thinking,
video.
Folks. This better be good.
Right. All this build up.
Thanks for the big build down.
And Frank, my apologies. I'm blocking you as I set this up, but
it's all good.
Okay. All right. So
is Frank awake there? He isn't sitting.
Yeah, we're.
Frank, are you there?
I'm here.
Okay.
Yeah, he doesn't. Yeah, he doesn't
just
really
chime in, Frank.
Yeah, he just. Yeah. Well, I have some stuff I want to talk about with Frank when we return. So, all right, we're all set.
Now, I didn't say anything bad about Frank because I didn't even know he was there. Did I? No, Frank, I don't think I did. No, okay.
I did. I'm his brother.
Okay.
That's what we do.
Yeah, I'm used to him doing it.
All right, here we go. My Rose of Ballin Robe?
Ballin Robe, which is in County Mayo in the west of Ireland.
Oh, all right. I have no idea
town.
what you just said. Okay. Here we go.
Beautiful little town.
Flaming hair of red, long and flowing from the bed. You're awakened by a cry from down the hall. The sobbing it subsides. Now you're back here by my side. Then you drift away, your beauty so serene. You're the love of my life, the woman of my dreams. You're the fairest of the daisies in the field. Ballin Road. Looking back, I can recall when our eyes met along the walk. It was a salt chill summer's night 5 years ago. On that night I took you home. Sure, we took the Headford Road, that winding way from Galway to Mayo. We were wed within the year, and we settled down right here. My love for you grows deeper by the day. It's for you I sing this song. I'm so glad you came along. You'll forever be my Rose of Ballin Road. You're the love of my life, the woman of my dreams. You're the fairest of the daisies in the field. And in your arms I'm always home. Never I will roam. You will always be my Rose of Ballin Road. You're the love of my life. You're the woman of my dreams. You're the fairest of the daisies in the field. And in your arms I'm always home. And never I will roam. You will always be my Rose of Ballin Road. You will always be my Rose of Ballin Road.
That was great. Did you guys see the bird at the end? Did you see it?
Frank, did you see the bird come out? Oh, he's probably sleeping.
Frank,
still.
you're muted yourself, Frank. Come back.
It's on a delay. Oh, there it is. I just saw it.
Oh, okay.
I just saw it.
Oh, okay, good. Oh, that's right. You're on delay.
Right.
Yeah, I'm pretty proud of that. It's, you know,
Pretty proud of having a bird fly out of me.
I have it on my resume too. Yeah.
What skills do you have?
Now I know what Richard Gere felt like.
Well,
although he hasn't been crawling around there.
There's, I've heard rumors about Richard Gere. Might not be the only thing that was there. Okay, John down there in Florida, absolutely fabulous. Love the shot when he has a pair of Guinness in his hand.
Oh, okay, there you go.
Yep. Oh, the bird must have been a stool pigeon.
Oh, I like it. Bump.
Oh, goodness. Okay. I hope he will sing some of the Clancy Brother tunes.
Oh, okay.
Do you you do covers, right? It's not.
Yeah, no, we do covers. I don't have any videos of any.
Right.
No, I mean I have a couple of covers, but as far as the Clancy Brothers stuff, we have a segment in our live show that we dedicate to the Clancy Brothers.
Oh, very nice.
Yeah, so we do. It's a medley. It's about maybe 6 or 7 minutes long, where we cover the Clancy Brothers.
Oh,
You
okay.
know? So in our show, look, we're like musical politicians. You know, we try to please everybody. You know?
Well, yeah, you got it's almost sacrilegious to not play Clancy Brothers when it's an Irish show.
Absolutely,
And
absolutely.
you wrote that?
That one I wrote.
That's
yeah.
great.
Yeah,
Very
Rosabella.
well done. That's great.
Well, thank you.
Absolutely. I assume the bird was Irish. Patrick the Bird. I have no idea.
Patrick the Bird?
Sometimes I don't know what they're talking about when I read the comments.
Yeah,
I don't know. But I took a
You have
shot at it.
very strange audience. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I'm the first to admit it. Yeah. Well, I mean, they're watching this, so that says a lot about them right there. So,
Well, it says that they're not working anyway.
well, yeah, true.
You have a nice unemployed following.
Or they're unemployed or they're prisoners. I'm not really sure.
Did they return their email to the government? Or I don't know.
They better have. All right, we're hanging with Andy Cooney. Tour is starting soon. AndyCooney.com.
.com.
And that that would be the best way to find out
I
tour
would say-
dates.
Yeah,
and what's
absolutely.
happening with you?
AndyCooney.com. And if you go on AndyCooney.com, really the best thing you can do is just page down and you can get on my email list.
Okay.
Because at least if we're coming back, you're just going to get an email instead of not knowing. You'll just get Andy's going to be at Governor's.
Hey, you never know.
Wow, there you go.
We could actually. We have the Giggle Room right down the hall.
We could have an Irish night here. Sure,
we could definitely have an Irish
Yeah, we
night.
could.
I mean, you can't. It's a very small stage. I don't know. Couldn't have a full band, but.
Yeah, we could do a nice, tidy little 3-piece up there. I'm sure.
No
we could.
way, that we
Yeah,
could do.
Sure, we could.
Wow, I wonder if
There
we can.
go.
Well, where are you going to be around St. Patrick's Day?
Around St. Patrick's Day, that won't work. We're going to be in Jersey.
Oh,
Who
cares about Jersey?
We're working every night, starting on the 5th. The only night that we're not working is a travel day, back up to New York from Florida.
Oh, okay.
So, well, actually to Swansea, Massachusetts.
Okay.
And then we do that, and then we go for an entire week in one dinner theater. It holds about 500 people.
Oh, wow.
We sold out just about every show.
Very nice.
Yeah, so we're there until St. Patrick's Day, and then our last show is in Pinehurst, North Carolina.
Wow.
So after that show is over on Patrick's Day, I think the show's over probably around 5 or 6. We'll get on the road, and we'll be in Pinehurst by 2 in the morning, and then we have a show there the next day.
Wow.
Yeah, so.
Wow. Yeah.
Be nice to be getting a bit of golf in. That would be nice.
Is that right? Yeah. Well,
not this time.
Well, I mean, why leave Massapequa then? They got the nice golf course down there by
That's right, Peninsula. But
That's it, yeah.
believe it or not, it was so beautiful yesterday. I played Bethpage yesterday.
Oh, did you? Yeah,
I did. It was a gorgeous day yesterday. Yeah.
I was talking to you while the video was playing. I was talking about how beautiful the scenery was, and I had mentioned that I had been to Scotland. Have you ever been up there?
I have.
St. Andrews?
And I played in Scotland. I played music in Scotland.
Yeah.
But let's see, have I golfed it? I've never golfed in Scotland. And anybody that really knows me, they know I'm crazy into the golf. I'm
kidding.
mad into it.
Really?
During the summer, I mean, I probably played 100 rounds of golf last year.
Wow.
Yeah. So I'm a member over at Colonial Springs in Farmingdale.
Okay.
So
yeah, right.
Yeah. So I play there a lot, and then I'll get calls from people all the time.
Well,
and so I'm mad into it. I'm crazy into it.
Get over to St. Andrews the next. I mean, that's
I
the
know,
Mecca.
I would love to.
Yeah.
It just hasn't happened. But I played golf all over Ireland, of course.
Oh yeah, for sure.
So.
It's big in Ireland?
Oh, some of your top golfers in the world. Look, you got Rory McIlroy, Sean Lowry.
Oh yeah, okay.
Yeah, some of your top players now.
Wow.
Yeah.
I am definitely nowhere near you as far as my knowledge and appreciation of golf, but I actually went to at St. Andrew was a big charity event that I had the pleasure of going to.
Oh wow!
From what I was told, it had to be probably a good 300 people, and like every other person was some professional golfer. And
well,
you're
you're up where it all began.
Yeah, but I had no idea. Huey Lewis was there, Mike Rutherford, Andy Garcia was there. So those are the people I knew. But plenty of people. Oh, did you talk to so and so? I don't know who that is. One of the best golfers.
Okay.
So it was. I didn't deserve to be there.
Is he funny?
Yeah, exactly. All right, so let's go back. Like I said, I wanted at some point go back. How does a kid from Massapequa? First off, I'm surprised Massapequa even lets an Irish family live there.
Yeah. Well, you know what? Where I live in Massapequa, of course, I live in the park now.
Okay.
I live in Massapequa Park. We're all cops and firemen.
Right. Yes.
We're
cop, fireman, and then one house is Rex.
Yeah. There you go. Exactly. I'm only funny enough about Rex. My God, I didn't know him, but I had people calling me from all over the country.
I bet. Yeah.
Do you know that guy Rex? I'm like, yeah. How do you know him? Oh, sure. He lives around the corner from me. Like, what's he like? I said, I don't know. He's a great guy. They're like, what?
I went golfing with him yesterday.
No. Because I'm like, no, I don't know him. Okay, I'm just kidding.
I've gone on a lot of trips with him. I can't tell you about them, but I want to.
Oh, God. Yeah, it's amazing. Massapequa, we were just saying, it's just a lot of crazy stuff. Especially, of course, losing that police officer, Officer Diller.
Yes.
And, our town has been in the news,
Well, yeah, and then you had the young hockey player a few months ago.
Oh, what was that?
17-year-old hockey player. He was playing in Bethpage. They got the rink in Bethpage.
Yeah.
It was some kind of charity event for another teenager who died during a hockey game. And during this game, 17 years old, he came off the ice, he started walking, and he just collapsed and he was gone.
Oh, wow.
17 from Massapequa.
Oh God!
And the
awful.
mother is actually an old high school friend of mine. Casson was the last name, and yeah,
oh, God rest him.
Oh yeah, it was
terrible.
so sad.
Couldn't imagine.
And
No,
the funeral home right across the street from the high school.
Yeah.
I mean the line was just,
I can
and it
only-
was freezing. But I remember standing out there in the cold waiting. But you know what? That's okay. You know,
That's okay.
if that's the worst I'm going through with
Well,
compared to what they're going through.
No, it's nice that you went.
Oh yeah, of course,
Yeah.
you have to. So yeah, that's So that I think that was
Yeah,
the
when I'm
latest
away,
Western.
sometimes I miss some of that news. you
Sure,
know.
which might be a good thing.
Yeah.
Let's see. I grew up loving Tommy Makes. What is that?
Tommy Makem? Does it say?
It says Makes, but he might have been doing talk to text, so might have been Tommy Makem. Is that what you said?
Well, Tommy Makem was with the Clancy brothers.
Oh, okay.
So he was.
Okay.
I would say songwriting. I was definitely influenced by him as a songwriter. He wrote some great stuff, and he was a great artist. Tommy
Yeah, I
Makem.
think that's what he's talking about because he said I'm the only Italian American that is in love with Irish music.
Oh yeah, Tommy Makem. I knew Tommy very, very well. We had, when I was working with the Patty Noonan show back in the '80s and the
Right,
'90s.
yeah.
The Clancy's was still huge at that time.
Sure, yeah.
So we used to bump into them a lot, on the road or whatever in different cities. We might be in the same city the same night. We might be
Sure.
staying in the same hotel, which did happen.
Oh, there's
Which
trouble.
did happen. We ended up with Liam Clancy and Tommy Makem, and one night, and it was in Boston. And it was in, I believe it was the Plaza Hotel. I'll never forget it.
Yeah.
And great story about Patty Noonan. Now, Patty Noonan doesn't drink. He never tasted alcohol in his life.
Wow.
So he wouldn't really know how to conduct himself around a bar. You know?
Right.
So he says to me, "Oh, Andy," he says, "maybe I should buy everybody a drink." I'm like, "That'd be a great thing," because we at that time, we were like Patty Noonan was the big multimillionaire. you know,
Right.
Owned the record company and the tour company. So anyway, they come back to him, and he bought like maybe 5 or 6 drinks. And of course, we're in Boston in a 5-star hotel.
Yeah.
He has no idea what the price of drink is. They come back to him. He's got like a $10 or $20, and he's like, oh, the $20 bill. Oh, okay. That's $55, sir. oh, okay. Back into the wallet.
That's great.
Comes up with $55 exactly. Hands it to him.
Yeah, all right. Tommy, you got to take
It's
care
like,
of the
hey,
girl
hey,
there.
Thanks.
Yeah.
Hey, thank you very much. Just
That's very
we
funny.
just wouldn't have a clue, or maybe he did.
Yeah, right.
Sometimes we say he was as dumb as a fox. God rest him. But he was a great guy to work for, Patty Noonan, and he kicked off my career. So I'm very appreciative.
And that's what he said. That's what he meant. Al Messina's all excited. I mentioned Mike Rutherford. Okay. Al is in a Genesis tribute band, so they play a lot of Genesis, obviously. And I have to ask, of course, too, the Chieftains. You must have crossed paths with them as well.
You know what? Not till much late, actually, till after Patty Maloney passed away.
Oh, wow.
It's I during my podcast, I got to interview Matt Malloy, who was the flutist with the Chieftains. So those are guys I never met them.
Oh, no kidding.
Now I've met the dancers and some musicians that have, Cara Butler, who's Jean Butler from Riverdance, her sister. Worked a lot with the Chieftains. But when I did the podcast, I was in Westport, County Mayo, and while I was there, Matt Malloy lives there. I talked to his agent. We had a great interview. He was fabulous to interview. He really was. Had some great stories and about the day and the day of being on the road and everything. But and of course, pretty much after Patty Maloney died, who was the man that flew the flag of the Chieftains for all these years.
Yep.
Once he passed, pretty much the group went with it. So that was it.
Sad. We talk about it on the show all the time as we get older to see these people we admire, see them, getting old and then dying off. It's sad, man. It's really
but
sad.
when you look at what those guys achieved, You know,
Oh, absolutely right.
just a band doing diddly
Oh, they were
diddly
great.
music, or good old Irish music.
Right.
And before you know it, they're on film scores, and then they're recording with everybody. You
Right.
know? There was an old joke back in the '90s, why did the chicken cross the road? And the punchline was to record with the Chieftains. Because everybody was recording with the Chieftains. Van Morrison, Ricky Skaggs, everybody, all the musicians, all Sinead O'Connor.
Right. That's actually how I discovered the Chieftains. Mick Jagger had done some stuff with them.
Yeah.
Roger Daltrey had done some stuff with them, and that's
It was like the coolest thing to do. And I
Yeah.
have to say, Sinead O'Connor's "Foggy Dew" with the Chieftains is off the charts.
Oh, really?
Her version.
I'm assuming that's the name of the song.
The Foggy Dew. It's
I didn't know if he was talking about something else.
Yeah. Right. It's called.
Sinead O'Connor's "Foggy Dew." Oh. Whoa.
No, there you go.
You got pictures? But
it's the "Foggy Dew" is an Irish rebel song.
Okay.
And takes you right back to 1916.
Really?
All right,
I'll have to check that out.
Yeah, but she what a talent she was.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah, and I saw the Chieftains in the mid '90s, and it's funny. People ask me like,
it's probably one of those things. You hear their music and you hear the the jigs, the reels, and all. You're like, I'm not sure if I'm going to like this thing. If you're not into the music,
right?
But then you go and it's a great show.
Absolutely.
And they've been doing it for 50, 60 years.
Right.
Those guys.
Oh yeah, people. I'm a big, obviously, with Frank, big music guys. I've been to millions of concerts in my life, and when I talk about some of my favorite concerts of all time, I'll mention the Chieftains and I'll mention the Neville Brothers.
Oh,
which
wow.
Those are two bands that I don't think anybody expects to hear when they ask, when they want to hear some of your favorite concerts. Of course, the Who was there, the Billy Joel, Paul McCartney, all the usual suspects. But then the Neville Brothers, and then another show where it was the Chieftains. They blew me away.
Hey, you know who blew me away? And I was playing in Westbury. It was going to be about 15, 20 years ago. And the night after we were there.
Yeah.
And actually, Frank, you might have been on that show. Frank Walker, you still there?
I'm still here.
Oh, okay. It's good. I'm just checking. Frank played guitar with us on one of the shows at Westbury.
Yeah.
So I think the next night, Tony Bennett was there. So I'm not sure if that's the show that Frank was on. But the next night, Tony Bennett was there. So I left, of course, I'm in the nice dressing room. The room that Tony Bennett's going to be in.
Right.
I write him a note. And I'm off the next night.
Okay.
So that day I'm thinking to myself, to my wife, I said, why don't we go to the show?
Yeah.
Tony Bennett, swing stuff or whatever. I like it. It's not my go-to, but,
So you stayed in the dressing room all night and just waited for him?
Yeah, right. Yeah. That would have been good, huh? Came out of the bathroom. Ta-da! But anyway, so I called Westbury and I said, look, me and my wife would like to go. He goes, well, I got Jason Stone at the time. He says, well, if you'd like, I'll give you the house seats.
Wow.
They weren't taken. He says, you'll be sitting with Jay Black.
Oh, wow.
So I'm like, oh, Jay Black. I've not met Jay before.
Sure.
I knew a guy that played with him, Rick Mango, and I knew some musicians he had worked with. So we go the next night. And I have to tell you one thing, Tony Bennett. Not a show that I thought I would go. But here he is at that time, probably in his late 80s or mid-80s.
But he could still belt it out at that
it
time.
Wasn't even, of course, he sang well enough. But just his way on stage. He just draws you in.
Right.
And I was completely taken by the show.
Wow.
But the best part of the night was Jay Black. And so I said during the intermission, Jay says, let's go back to see Tony. So I'm like, well, we could try, but I said, Jay, I checked with security, and they're not letting anybody back. They'll let me back. Don't you worry about that.
Wow.
So here I am. I followed Jay Black. Here we are. We come up to that little door there that they come out and come down the aisle and go up to there. And, oh, Jay, no, nobody's allowed back. He says, what? Nobody. No. Nobody gets backstage. You tell Tony it's me. He says, sorry, it's not going to work, Jay. Nobody gets back to see Mr. Bennett. So the two of us, tails between our legs, we go back to our seats. But he was a piss of Jay Black. I really enjoyed his company that night.
I've heard he was kind of like a not a wild guy, but definitely
no, he was definitely
fun.
He was definitely one of the most unique individuals I've ever met in my life, and I mean that in a good way.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't remember who told me, but somebody told me the guy would curse like a sailor.
Oh yeah.
Like
Absolutely.
every other word out of his mouth.
Oh yeah.
And
Oh,
even, even on stage, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, pretty much on stage. That was kind of his thing. I had only seen him live once. I saw him at Burns Park.
Oh wow!
They did those Music Under the Stars.
Yeah.
In fact, can I make a commercial? I'm doing a Music Under the Stars.
Oh.
I think it's going to be, I'm going to say June 22nd.
Okay.
And I'll be with the New York Tenors.
Oh, very nice.
Yeah, so that's another thing that I came up with to stay busy. I just finished touring with Larry Gatlin and Crystal Gale. Remember them?
That's on my list of things to talk about.
Yeah, so we had done like 18, 20 shows together, and, it kind of came to an end.
Mm-hmm.
So my agent's like, no, that was a great idea. We all made good money and everything was great. You got any other ideas like that? So I said, I actually do have an idea called the New York Tenors. Tenors were kind of fashionable at that time.
Right, yeah.
So I said, I'd like to talk to Daniel Rodriguez.
The singing cop.
From 9/11. So he'd be Latino. I'm Irish. And I spoke with Michael Amante at the time. And we came together as the New York Tenors.
Right.
And we did a lot of cool stuff together. Michael ended up moving to Florida after his wife passed away. And then Christopher Macchio joined our group. And so we know Daniel, of course, was the singing cop, but Christopher Macchio is Donald Trump's favorite tenor. He sang at the inauguration. And
no kidding, really?
And he's known Donald for many, many years, so he's been down in Mar-a-Lago many times singing at private events.
Wow.
But Donald just loves him. Loves a big Italian tenor, Pavarotti type of singer, and Chris is that and more. So
hopefully Donald is a big fan of Irish tenors.
Yeah, actually he was. He was a big fan of Frank Patterson.
Okay.
And he used to have Frank come down to perform in Taj Mahal.
Nice.
Back in the day when he was king of Atlantic City.
Right.
But yeah, he loved Frank and whatever. I had met him like 30 years ago.
Oh, yeah.
Maybe 40 years ago. I was singing at an event, and it was very brief. Oh, very nice. Wish I could sing like that. Yeah, that was very, very quick. But we did sing the New York Tenors. We did sing at the Long Island Trump rally.
Oh, okay. At the Coliseum?
At the Coliseum.
Oh,
so
very
we
nice.
did that one. We did the anthem. It was like 5:00. It was the kind of the beginning. The
Right.
venue was still filling up, and but I got to hang for the whole thing and
Sure.
met a lot of fun people.
Nice.
One of my favorite people to meet that night was Sid Rosenberg.
Really?
Yeah, WABC.
Yeah, I know Sid is, yeah.
Yeah, what a great guy.
Really?
Him and his wife Danielle, they were back there. And at that time, Sid was a little upset that he wasn't asked to speak at the Trump rally.
Oh, wow.
And he went on and on and on the radio how pissed off he was.
Oh, wow.
So anyway, and now I see him there that night.
Yeah.
And I said, Sid, Trump is he's gonna give you a shout out tonight. You watch. I don't know. I don't think. I said, he's going to give you a shout out. I mean, the way you've been going on the radio all week. It didn't happen. I thought he was definitely going to get the shout out, but he didn't.
Wow. You're like, Sid, I got up on stage. I sang. Take that.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, I did kind of get up there. Well,
so, if you said it, I missed it. Where is the Music Under the Stars with the New York Tenors?
It's gonna be at John J. Burns Park.
Oh, at John Burns Park in Massapequa. Great park.
And the town of Oyster Bay sponsored the Music Under the Stars. Joe Saladino, and they have great shows. And I go back to the John Vendetto days.
Sure.
He used to love to bring me in. Yeah,
That's great.
I think it was just that I was a local.
Right.
And had a bit of a name, so he used to love he always tried to plug me in. I really appreciate that.
That's great.
So
yeah.
it's good to get back because it's been at least 10 years.
Oh, wow.
Since I've done that Music Under the Stars.
So playing right there in your hometown, do you get a lot of old friends, and it's a nice hometown gig?
Yeah.
Like you get
absolutely.
It's very similar to a lot of Long Island comedians that play here. It's a homecoming gig.
Yeah.
And it's special and it's different and personal. So it's same
is.
thing.
And there'll be 10,000 people who show up that night. I mean, they get big crowds for these.
The
town of Oyster Bay has done a great job all these years.
Saladino has done a nice job.
Yeah.
Yeah. I like him. Yeah. And I see it when Mike Del Judas comes in. I mean, the whole town is like at Burns Park, and you better get there at 3 p.m. if you want to park in the park.
I did one of the shows there about 15 years ago. Ronan timed it. Myself and Ronan did it.
Yeah.
And what a blast we had.
I
And
bet.
of course, Ronan's bald,
Yeah.
Oh, kind of like yourself.
We have the same barber.
Yeah, so I says to Ronan on stage, I said, Ronan, I heard there's an Irish saying that every time you make love, you lose a strand of hair.
God, I wish that was true.
So he looks at me, he goes, I see you're getting nothing.
That's fantastic.
But we ended up going back to Gannon's, which is our nice little Massapequa.
Yep.
What can I say? Watering hole.
Sure.
And that I like to frequent there. It's a great Massapequa bar.
Right.
I see people in there from high school. Also, Johnny McGorry's that whole little strip there is great. It's just
and One Central will hopefully be opening soon. One Central is the old Ziggy's.
Oh, really? Wow.
It's
okay.
our guys that own Governors. They're opening One Central. Over
Are
there.
you kidding?
Yeah.
I can't wait.
Yeah,
I can't wait.
They're setting it up to be a nice, really nice place, which is nice because, and I know you frequent it, the old Irish pub. The old, not the Irish
Well,
pub.
there was a place down there called
the
Fox's.
Cottage, the Irish Cottage.
Oh, the Irish Cottage on Park Boulevard.
I still miss that place. I loved Connell. I loved that place. She had the best food, and if I'm not mistaken, you hung out there.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
Sure, I did.
And I know, and Frank played there a lot. Yeah, it was.
We met there.
That's how you guys met.
Right. That's where me and Frank met. Frank was doing. He was doing the. He was playing.
He played there all the
Irish
time.
Cottage.
Yeah. We did, and I did comedy shows there in the back.
Now, which camera am I on?
You were on that one.
That one there. Oh,
yes.
Yeah, and that's right. There's a delay, so.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, our screen there is. That's basically when. Yeah, 30 seconds, which is basically the viewers.
Yeah, okay, now I can see the viewers.
Yeah, so it's that camera there.
Okay.
All right, so you met Frank at the Irish Cottage, and then. So what happened? How did Frank end up on stage at Westbury with you?
Well, no, me and
Did
Frank.
he pay you?
No. Basically, I mean, with Frank and everything, we just hit it off as friends.
Okay.
I used to come there, and at that time, I wasn't doing really any bar work anymore. Thank God the career.
Well, yeah,
was
you're Andy
moving-
Cooney. You're above that.
Hey, come on. But I used to love going to the cottage.
Yeah,
That was my
great
place that I loved
place.
to go.
Yeah.
And Frank played there a lot, and we just hit it off as buddies.
Nice.
And all those years going there, and I said, no, I want you to play with me at Westbury. I want you to be
Very
in the
cool.
band.
Yeah.
And so he played with me that year.
And then, you jumped on stage at Westbury. What'd you do? 3 songs?
No, I
Didn't you
I
sit
played
in for the whole
band
set?
The whole night.
The whole night. Oh,
Yeah,
wow.
he sat in with us.
And then the second year, we sang one song together.
Yeah. Oh, what did we do together, Frank?
I Will Be Here.
Oh, I Will Be Here. Oh my God, that's right. That's right. And that's one of my favorite things that I've recorded. That was on an album called The Prodigal. No, it was on Irish Influence. It was an album I did in Nashville.
Oh, nice.
But then I took the tracks up to New York and threw some Irish musicians up in the Bronx.
Oh, wow.
On it. And but I Will Be Here was kind of a Christian. Stephen Curtis Chapman, I think.
Oh, sure. Yeah.
I think he was the one that wrote it. And I fell in love with it, so I recorded it, and Frank and I did it together at
And I want to
Westbury.
stick with that theme for a second, but first, I there's one thing I have to talk about since we're talking about Frank. If I have my timeline right, after he sat in with you at Westbury, you then offered Frank a gig to do some kind of, what was it, Frank? He offered you a job backing him up on a cruise?
Oh, yeah, I forgot all about that.
I didn't forget about it. I still to this day pick on him. How can you turn down such a cool gig like playing music, backing up a major artist on a cruise ship? I still to this day pick on him
Well, I
about
could
this.
see why, because he would have been letting all those people down at the Irish Cottage. That is loyalty.
That is loyalty.
That
Yes,
is loyalty.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I'm nuts that way.
I think stupidity is the word we're looking for.
Okay.
Oh yeah, it drives me nuts. That's a great gig, and who knows what it would have led to.
Yeah, he might have got a job being a cabin steward or waiter. Or,
Playing music on the cruise ships pay well. I have one of my closest friends.
Well, that's true. That's true.
Those cruise ships.
Possibly, and Frank, his repertoire fits in anywhere you go.
I don't know anybody, and I don't know if you've ever seen this or not, but I don't know anybody like he can listen to a song once boom, sit at the piano
Oh, yeah.
and pretty much have it like 95% down. So he could have easily been, playing a cruise ship, piano bar, as people are eating dinner.
Oh, yeah. Oh, no.
Right? Tell him, Andy Cooney, tell him.
Frank, please. I'm begging you.
All right. So, I just, had to pick on Frank. We're hanging out with Andy Cooney. The tour starts soon, and he's going to be playing Burns Park in Massapequa for you local people in June. That's going to be great. I'm going to try and get down there myself. Actually, that's how I met you, speaking of Long Island. We met at a Ducks game where you did the national anthem.
Are you? Oh, wow.
Yeah. And I walked up to you, and I bring this up because, I again, teasing Frank, I can't tell you how many people I've met. I'm like, hi, I just want to tell you. And I did. I said, nice job with the national anthem. Oh, thank you very much. I said, I'm Tony Walker. I'm Frank Walker's brother, right? And everybody, they just go like, because nobody knows Frank has a brother. Frank is the big musician. He plays everywhere. Everybody knows him. And they're like, oh, he's got a brother? Oh, are you a musical genius? No. Oh, all right. Well, nice talking to you. Nobody knows that Frank has a brother. So,
I had to tell you, the funniest line I ever heard. I have friends of mine down in Texas, and Larry Gatlin is doing the show down there. Now he's and if you do want to, that would be a fun video to play if you want. It's a song that Larry Gatlin and I wrote together.
Oh, okay.
But anyway, somebody come up to Larry and says, "Hey, Larry," he goes, "I'm a friend of Andy Cooney's." He goes, "Andy Cooney ain't got no friends." I thought that was the funniest thing I ever heard.
That's a great line. I got to remember that.
Yes.
That's hysterical.
So I'll tell you. Well, actually, if we do have time to play the video, just put Cooney Gatlin. It'll come up.
I see.
There it is.
Come Tennessee Me Tonight.
Yeah. So what happens is when we wrote this thing, I was coming in from New Orleans to drop off a musician in Nashville, Mitch Riley. Mm-hmm. So I was driving through and I said, let me call Larry, because I wrote for Larry Gatlin's company. So we knew each other very, very well. Good friends. So I said, "Hey, Larry, just giving you a buzz. I'm going to be passing through." He goes, "Cooney, you're going to be in Nash, Coon Dog?" Called me the Coon Dog. So I said, "I am. I'm just dropping somebody off. Where you going back to New York?" And I said, "Well, I was going to, but I might crash, stay the night now." He goes, "I'll tell you what you're doing. You're staying at my house tonight, and you're going to be my guest on the Grand Ole Opry tonight."
Oh, wow.
Isn't that the coolest thing? So that's exactly what happened.
Oh, that's amazing.
So, we sang All the Gold in California together, which was kind of fun.
Oh, and to play on that stage, that must have been something.
It really was. It was very, very cool. And then after the show was over, and we're driving back to Larry's, I'm looking at these Tennessee license plates, and I said, "Hey, Larry, anybody write anything like Come Tennessee Me? Play on Tennessee. Yeah. Come Tennessee Me tonight." He goes, "Hell no, but we're going to write it tonight." So we went back, and I would say in about 30 minutes, we must have written 60 lines.
Wow.
It was just like one of those things. The lines just kept on coming out. In fact, when we, if you do play it, we had to narrow it down to lines. And then, of course, he had crazy lines, Right. Larry come up with the first one. "If you feel like you've worn out, you're welcome in Texas. Come Tennessee Me tonight."
That's great.
And he goes, "And if you think that you cowboys don't know what good sex is, come to..." So we were coming up with all kinds of lines. But anyway, this is the final version.
Yeah, right.
And Larry's a nut job when you see him in the video.
All right, you know what? We'll play it now, and then we'll get into some other stuff. We got a little over 10 minutes left, so I'm going to sneak this video in. Then there's some other things I wanted to cover with you. Let's see. All right, so I don't know. We'll probably hit an ad again.
Oh no, it looks like you got it.
Yeah, we have an ad.
All right, we have an ad.
All right, so
just keep talking.
Yeah, that's all.
Hey, what's that? Big Buford? Only $3?
Get yourself a burger at whatever Big Buford. I never heard of Big Buford. Never heard of it. But you can get a burger there.
Burger looks pretty.
Oh, we got another commercial.
Another possibly. Any skip there?
Oh, this is the Matthew Perry show that's
really
streaming.
Touch people's lives.
So
I don't think a lot of people realize what fame really is.
There we go. Look at the millions of people are getting this free advertising.
Exactly for this cheerful documentary.
Injecting Mr. Perry in
no skip yet?
No, I'm looking for it. No skip yet.
There's way more to this story.
Believe me, I've been looking. I guess we're not getting it. All right, here's the video. Yes?
Yes.
Yes? Where's the skip? There's no skip. All right. Oh, there we go. Okay, there we go.
If you feel like you've worn out, you're welcome in Texas. Come Tennessee me tonight.
I'll fly you first class to Memphis and pick you up in my Lexus. Come Tennessee me tonight.
Come Tennessee me.
Come Tennessee me.
Come Tennessee me tonight. Wherever you are,
if you are feeling lonely, honey, come Tennessee me tonight.
if you're sick and tired of how they're treating you in New York City, kitty, come Tennessee me tonight.
If you don't like the way they're serving your chili in Cincinnati, Patty, come Tennessee me tonight.
Come Tennessee me.
Come Tennessee me.
Come Tennessee me tonight.
If you think it's sin the way they're treating you in old Virginia, Jenny, come Tennessee me tonight.
Tennessee me.
Come Tennessee me.
Come Tennessee me tonight. Now the stars are bright in Austin, but not like the way they shine in Nashville. Come Tennessee me tonight. Wherever you are,
if you are feeling lonely, honey,
come Tennessee me tonight. Tennessee me.
Come Tennessee me.
Come Tennessee me tonight.
That was a great tune, man. I love
thank
that.
you. Thank you.
Was
That was
fun.
That was a lot of fun to do. It was during COVID.
Right.
Actually, real quick about COVID. So funny enough, my son and I, we also wrote a song. So I recorded a song that morning in Nashville, and then we did the video in the afternoon.
Wow.
It was during COVID. So I flew down the night before, and we flew home after doing the video. And I get a call from Contact Tracing.
Right.
Because they knew that I had flown.
Oh, okay.
So they said, well, you flew out at 8 o'clock. What time did you fly home? I said, I think it was 7. Oh, you're okay. Being that I was in 24 hours in Nashville.
Oh, okay.
So there's no COVID when that happens.
Yeah, right. Yeah, it's just like,
It's not even on the plane.
Right.
Yeah.
It's just like when you're sitting down, you can't get it either. It's only when you were standing up.
Yeah. So I was fine. I didn't have to contact Trace because within an hour of 24 hours, I was not out of New York.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I was thinking of everybody.
It,
I was thinking of everybody when I booked the flights. So.
Exactly. So when you do the show at what was it, the Villages in Florida?
Yeah, the Villages.
Where is that in Florida?
That's like between Orlando and Tampa.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's.
We have a guy, John, who's down by West Palm, and he's asking if you're going to be playing.
Yes, I am. I'm going to be in Hobe Sound the next night on the 6th at a church called St. Christopher's.
Oh, okay.
And the tickets are being sold at the door. Oh. And for some reason, they always pack it. I've been trying to get Father Aiden Hines there. Father, let's sell tickets online. No, just let them pay when they get there.
Wow. Okay.
And they show up. There'll be like 500-600 people will show up there, and we'll have a great night. They're going to love Mick Thomas, and we perform right in the church.
Right. Wow, John, are you familiar with that at all? And when is that?
St. Christopher's in Hobe Sound.
Right.
Which is kind of Jupiter area. Okay. So it's, it's 20 minutes from.
And what's the
West
date
Palm.
on that? Do you know?
That's the 6th. That's the next
6th
night.
of March. Okay.
Yeah. Well, every night. The 7th we're in. The 7th we're in Venice, Florida. The 8th we're in Marco Island. The 9th we're in Fort Lauderdale area, Davie, Florida, and then we get back up north, and then the Tuesday we're in Holyoke, Massachusetts, and then we go to Jersey for those 5 or 6, 7 gigs, and then down to Carolina for one, and that's the tour.
Well, he says he is familiar with that. So
with St. Christopher's, come on down.
Yeah,
7:00 show. Doors open at 6:30. You get to get online, but hey, listen, it'll be fine. And everybody gets in, and it's a great night. Really, is a great night.
John is he's like 110 years old. No, he's 71, I believe. But he is. We've talked about it on the show, so I'm not giving away personal information. He's got leukemia.
Okay.
But he's doing well, and he gets out a little bit. So
this will be definitely a good night to come out.
And he can.
And John, I should let you know that most of the people that come to my shows, they got something.
Well, and I think John definitely needs some time in a church. That's just my opinion. So
there you go.
Good for him that hopefully he gets there. It's AndyCooney.com. He's asking what the website is. AndyCooney.com. COONEY. AndyCooney.com. And that's actually what I wanted to ask. We have about 5 minutes left, and I just wanted to touch upon this because you do Irish tunes. You're big in the Irish world, but you kind of, which I find very fascinating. You don't just sing Irish tunes. You kind of embrace the whole lifestyle, and you're very big with the heritage and your faith.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Oh, absolutely. It's I'm a big faith guy. Big faith guy. So I try to go to Mass as often as possible. I just love starting my day that way. Mm-hmm. And then I go to the gym. I have a nice little morning regimen I like to do. And our family is I'm lucky. I got a family. We're all very thankful for everything we have.
Nice.
And we're all church-going people.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Irish Catholic?
Irish Catholic, yeah.
Okay. Very nice.
Yeah, those Protestants, too bad they're all going to hell, So, but... other than that,
No, that's awesome. That's really great, and I, especially in this current climate and the way things are going, we definitely could use to hear a lot more of those types of stories and talk more about those types of things.
Oh yeah, no, absolutely.
Yeah,
and
I wanted to touch upon it.
And there's a lot of that going on.
Yes,
a lot of people have come back to their faith, which is great.
Yeah, I have noticed that. It seems to be creeping back up. Which,
it might be when we're getting older. We start to feel our immortality, maybe.
Yeah, true. Better start saying sorry. You never know.
Time's running out.
And then, we were talking talking about now immortality and talking about before our people we admire passing. Yeah, one of the viewers says R.I.P. Gene Hackman. Yeah, that was kind of sad to hear Gene Hackman.
Yeah, and the
away.
wife too.
The wife and the dog.
What happened? Was there?
They said they don't suspect foul play, but they are still investigating.
Maybe left something on. Maybe I don't know.
There's one of the comedians from the club here. He has a show. It's called Hershey and the Keegs. Mike Keegan. He actually posted this morning that it was him, the wife, and the dog. So the cat is in for questioning.
Well, there you go. I've heard it all now.
That was great.
But what a decorated career that guy.
Oh, what a talent that man was.
Every movie he was in.
I mean, and you can name so many. Yeah. Even his cameo in Young Frankenstein was hilarious.
Oh yeah.
Right? And Frank, remember that, right? Yeah, that was one of our favorite movies. And still to this day, when Peter Boyle sings Putting on the Ritz, I laugh like it's the first time I'm hearing it.
Oh yeah.
Oh, so funny.
Now I think they were a long relationship, him and the wife. I think they're one of those rare.
Oh, is that right?
I think so. I'll have to Google it or whatever. But I remember looking back at him, and I think him and the wife are together. Maybe 50 years. I don't know.
I do know that she's a bit younger than him.
Then I could be
maybe
wrong.
20 years younger.
I could be thinking of somebody else.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah. But, I mean, it could be. I mean, the guy was 95 years old.
Yeah.
Which means she, probably in her 70s, so they could have been together a while.
Yeah,
but
sure.
Very talented man. So many great movies. I don't even know where to begin. The Unforgiven, The Firm.
Is that where the saying came? He was a hack. No, probably. That guy's a real hack. No, probably not. Okay. I'm just trying to think of funny stuff. This is my big chance here. I mean, governors.
I think you passed your audition
during the day. I was saying to you, I guess Mass Commutes. This is probably comedy at night and tragedy during the day.
Exactly. Just keep bringing that keyboard with you where you go. All right, it is time for us to get out of here. AndyCooney.com. June, go see him if you're local. Go see him at Burns Park. If you're down in Florida in the next few weeks, if you're down in Jersey
next week.
Yeah. Oh, that's right. Yeah, next week's March. I'm not even thinking.
Next week, unreal.
So,
I just want to thank you, Tony, for having. I really enjoyed this.
Good.
It was
good.
great
Come
time.
back. We'll do it again.
And it's funny. My band member Jimmy Kelly, when we're doing these long overnight drives, and if I'm driving, and who's ever shotgun, and it could be 2 a.m.
Right.
Jimmy will say to whoever that is, if you see Andy drifting off, just talk to him about his career. So no problem. When you told me we were going to be on for an hour and a half, I was like, oh, great.
and I did. I tell all the guests that, and I did. I said it to you. We're on from 11 to 12:30. You don't have to stay the whole time if you don't want to. I'm just appreciative that you're here. And
well, you made the mistake of asking me about my career.
That's very funny. Go see Andy Cooney. You will not be disappointed. He's great. And, we'll definitely have to do it again. Maybe we'll get you and Mick in here together. That would be a lot of fun.
I'll talk about the other half of my career.
Exactly. Believe me, there was stuff I didn't even get to. Carnegie Hall, Lincoln Center.
Oh, yeah. Oh, my God. We could do another hour and a half on Carnegie Hall.
I didn't even ask how it started out from a kid playing
8 times in Lincoln Center once. Yeah, no. Listen, it's been a great ride. I've done some really cool stuff. And it's been great.
I didn't get to talk to you about playing with your son. I wanted to talk about Frank Pizzarelli. Yeah, there's a bunch of stuff. I wanted to ask, you played with the Oak Ridge Boys. I wanted to ask you if Ronan Tynan got you any Yankee tickets. I wanted to talk about the Mets. Yeah, so there's a lot to do. So
we will. We'll do it again.
We'll definitely do it again.
And Frank, of course, always a pleasure. It's been a long time since I've seen you, my friend.
Yeah, you too. Thank you.
Frank, we have next Thursday. So we do a musician every Thursday. Frank hooks them up. Next Thursday is Tom Chapin. Is that correct?
Yeah, that's it.
Wow.
Yeah, that'll be fun. Brother of Harry Chapin.
Yeah,
Tom
and
Chapin.
was it also? Is it the Long Island Cares?
Yeah.
Yeah, all of that.
Yeah, the whole family's involved.
It's just amazing family.
Yeah, we'll be touching upon that among other things. But now he'll be like you. He'll be on Zoom, right?
Yes, he lives upstate, so he'll be doing it from there.
Oh, that sucks. All right. All right, cool. It is time for us to get out of here. We are a half hour away from Sports Bash with Peter Schwartz coming at you at 1 o'clock. And I think that's it for the day. Coffee with the Dog tomorrow at 9 a.m. I'll be back here tomorrow at 11. Rosie Fiumara will be here. James Grimm will be here. And we're still working on Jay Moore. Jay Moore, who is playing the club this weekend, there's still a chance he actually might be joining us, which would be great. And speaking of the club, some of the names you'll see on the governor's stage this weekend. Steve Ranasisi is here tonight. Jay Moore this weekend. One Funny Lisa Marie. Mark Gagnon. Jay Nog. Just some of the comedians you'll see on a governor's stage this week. Govs.com to check out the full schedule and make your reservations. And don't forget Knockem Dead Comedy. We're doing a fun audience interactive comedic murder mystery show tomorrow night at Cafe Spiga out in Mount Sinai. Go to knockemdeadcomedy.com to check out our schedule as well as information how you can hire us for your event. All right. We are out of here. We'll see you in a half hour with Peter. AndyCooney.com. Go check him out. And Frank, are you playing yet? Anything yet?
No, nothing. No.
What in the world? Was that Porky Pig? What was that?
Yeah, I don't know. I couldn't get it out.
I'll get you a gig, Frank. Don't worry.
There you go. There you go. If Andy called and said he had a gig, you would say yes this time, correct?
Yeah, we'll have to work it out. But yeah, I have to work out.
Yeah, I heard he's gotten very expensive.
Yeah, right. It's all from spaghetti. He'll do it. All right, we're out of here. We'll see you guys later. Thanks again.